Week 2. Yep, son of a bitch. I had the picks record, and we were off to a great start. OBS picking up the wrong monitor. Week 2 was pretty interesting. Have some games I do want to talk about in the top 25. We're going to start with Ohio State. They beat Michigan, Western Michigan, a lot to a little. Really, the only thing I want to say with this is freshman transfer Julian Sand got to actually throw a football, which was more than a lot of backups have ever done for Ryan Day in years prior. That's all I got. Nothing really to say about this game. Ohio State won big, took care of business. Georgia took care of business against Tennessee Tech. I didn't know there was a Tennessee Tech. Moving on. The next two games I actually do want to talk about a little bit. Number 3, Texas, traveled to number 10, Michigan, in Ann Arbor. Michigan stinks. Michigan's offense is pathetic. Pull this open. This game started out interesting. The very first drive, Texas went 4 for 4 on third down, or 3 for 4 on third down, and they were all three conversions were from 10 plus yards. They were kind of shooting themselves in the foot. Then they miss a field goal, giving Michigan life. Michigan then punted, and then punted again, and then punted again. The whole time, eventually they did score a field goal. The whole time, Texas was scoring points. This Michigan offense is just putrid. Davis Warren is bad. And if Davis Warren's the best quarterback that Michigan has, that's a problem. I can cover West Virginia. I can talk about that game. I didn't really watch a lot of it. That's the one you're talking about. Davis Warren is awful. If he's their best quarterback, it's going to be a long season. Donovan Edwards should not be RB1. I don't know what EA Sports was thinking putting Donovan Edwards on the NCAA 25 cover. He's just fucking terrible. He's good 3 games a year. However, now that that game, if that one's a possible cover too, yes. He's been good 3 games a year. Now with no Blake Corum, he has to be the feature back, and the dude doesn't know how to make any reads. It's just run right into the ass of your offensive lineman, and if you fall forward for a couple yards, you fall forward for a couple yards. He had a better game than he did in week 1 against Fresno State, but when you get 20 yards in 10 carries, anything's really better. He 41 yards on 8, but he's just not good. Wide receivers, their wide receiver room's terrible, and the defense just got gassed because the offense was pathetic. Texas might be really good. I want to hold out till what week is it that Texas actually plays someone real? Oh. Not till the 19th. Maybe the 12th, really. Texas might be really good. We're not really going to know until no Stallions is why Michigan was good. They're not really going to know until they play Oklahoma on the 12th. That'll be their first real team because UTSA, Louisiana Monroe, and Mississippi State are. Ooh, we're playing those games. Michigan, I'm changing my tune on them a little bit. They very well could lose to USC in 2 weeks. They could be a 3 to 4 loss team. Like, this team just... The defense is not good enough. Whether you want to blame Connor Stallions or whatever, the defense is not good enough for to be able to counter how bad this offense is. Especially if your best quarterback is Davis Warren. Great story. That's a great story there, Davis Warren. Walk on who had leukemia, but just he is not a Division I Power 4 quarterback. He's just so bad. Move on. We're going to keep this rolling around a little bit. Alabama, if you look at the score, Alabama handled South Florida. Just if you look at this, I need to zoom in. You can probably see this, kind of. Here, we'll pull the box score up. If you just look at this, you look at the box score, USF, or Alabama handled USF. Winning 42-16. They needed a 28-point fourth quarter to win 42-16. 2 years in a row, Alabama struggled, and I didn't watch this game at all. I'm going to admit that. I've seen very little of this game. Because this was on the same time Ohio State was on. 2 years in a row, Alabama has struggled with South Florida. This Alabama team... Excuse me. Just... They couldn't get anything going. They can't get any... It'll be very interesting to see. They play Wisconsin this week, a team that's probably not going to be very good. They just couldn't really get too much going until late. And while they didn't really give up touchdowns in the first half, they only gave up one the entire game. They couldn't pull away until... Excuse me. Allergies are bothering me until the final 10 minutes of the game, in which Jalen Milroe pads his stats with 2 touchdowns. One of which was 43 yards. Jam Miller gets a 56-yard run. This non-pro. This is college, yes. It just... Alabama, once again, struggles with a bad team. Does it mean anything? I don't know, because there was a lot of power. There was a lot of top 25 teams this year, or this week, that struggled with inferior teams. Again, they have Wisconsin this week, so I don't know what to expect there. We'll talk about that in a minute, because I honestly don't know how good Wisconsin's going to be. So that'll be kind of a... Oh, you don't get college football? You're from Australia? On Wednesdays, we talk about the NFL. Tuesdays, I talk about college, because I did play college football here in the States. On Wednesdays, I do talk a little bit about the NFL. college. Let's be honest. College is the development for the NFL anyway. Number 5, Notre Dame. 1 second. Number 5, Notre Dame. I feel like kids are. I mean, yes and no. Like there are certain levels. There are levels of it where it's of college ball where it is not nearly as good, but at the high end, it's just developmental league. Essentially, like they're not. A lot of these players that are going to the top college football teams are not they're not there for college. They're just there because they can't go to the NFL right out of high school. Number 5, Notre Dame played host to Northern Illinois. Notre Dame's bad. Like, once again, Notre Dame every year finds a way to wait, how do I want to put this? Notre Dame every year finds a way to just be disappointing. They lose to a MAC school in Northern Illinois, 16-14. They all Notre Dame had to do was win out, and they were most likely in the playoff. Go to 11-0 against USC at the end of the season. They then most likely make the college football playoff. This year, now that things are now with the loss to Northern Illinois, I mean, that's in jeopardy. I mean, yes, with the 12-team playoff, they have a shot. Oh, did I not scroll down far enough? My bad. Thank you. Yes, with the 12-team playoff, Notre Dame could still theoretically make it in. It's still early in the season. They can get some help. But with no conference, no automatic qualifier, it's going to be dicey. I feel bad for Marcus Freeman. I think he could be a good coach, just not at Notre Dame. Really all I got there. Not much to say, because, I mean, this wasn't really a good game. It was an ugly game. It won off of a blocked field goal. Ole Miss beat Middle Tennessee State 52-3. Nothing to talk about there. Got the next 2 games that I want to talk about, and that's almost it for the top 25. And then we have one other college game I want to talk about before we get into the preview. Number 7, Oregon played host to Boise State. Won 37-34. Ashton Jeanty is really good. Oregon defensively is really bad. And they just have no offensive identity. Ever watch a dwarf get their shirt caught in the door of a truck and dragged 100 feet? Oh. Oh my. That was for the Ole Miss. Yeah, except there's nothing to talk about. Ole Miss won a lot to a little. Back to Boise State, Oregon, Boise State. Oregon's defense is abysmal. Oregon's offense has no identity. Dylan Gabriel, not Dan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel was supposedly going to be this all-world player. He hasn't been terrible, but this Oregon team just has no idea what they want to do. They don't have a run game. they can't lean on Dylan Gabriel to throw for 400 yards a game. I mean, right here he only threw for 240 against Boise State, and they damn near lost. Defensively, they're pathetic. The offensive line's not great. Dylan Gabriel got sacked a handful of times, and just when is Oregon gonna lose? At this point, like when is Oregon gonna lose? That's all I got. Like, there's not much. That game was on at fucking midnight on Peacock. I wish I could have watched it, but I had to be at work in the morning. This Oregon team's just not good. Number 8, Penn State lost to beat Bowling Green 34-27. They won on a 41-yard touchdown from Nick Singleton. It took a week. It took a week longer than I thought it was going to for Penn State to prove that they're probably frauds. I thought it was going to happen against West Virginia. I thought West Virginia was at least going to be able to keep that game close. I was wrong on that. Penn State goes to play Bowling Green. Well, doesn't go. Bowling Green comes into Happy Valley. And, yeah. They were in a dogfight the entire game. I've said it before. James Franklin's not a good coach. I'm going to keep saying it. This Penn State team looks really bad, too. Big Ten might not be that great. Missouri beat Buffalo a lot to nothing. 38-0. Back to this Penn State game, too. Yeah, I was wrong about West Virginia. I'll admit that. Back to this Penn State game for a second. Defensively, they couldn't fight their way out of a wet paper bag until the end. That first half was abysmal. Number 11 Utah beat Baylor. Cam Rising hurt his throwing hand. It's remained to be seen if we're going to see him this week. So, if Cam Rising doesn't play a lot, this Utah team could be not great. Number 12 Miami beat Florida A&M 56-9. Woo. USC beat Utah State 48-0. Woo. Tennessee. We're just going to kind of roll through the top 25 real quick. Tennessee, number 14, Tennessee beat number 24, NC State in the Duke's Mayo Classic. 54-10. This game was a beatdown. People thought this game was going to be good. It was bad. NC State, out of the ACC, out of the ASC conference, just had no reason to be in this game. Oklahoma was in a fight for their life with Houston. They beat Houston with 2 touchdowns and a safety. That's Oklahoma. I don't know. Like, it was a weird week in the top 25. Teams struggled. Oklahoma State beat Kansas in double overtime, 39-31. I thought Oklahoma State was going to be pretty good with Ollie Gordon. Maybe I'm wrong. Time will tell on that one. Kansas State beat Tulane. Let me scroll down. Kansas State beat Tulane 34-27. The Oklahoma State QB is bad. That's going to make things interesting. we had a tournament going on Saturday while that game was on, so I didn't get to watch all of it, especially because Michigan was on at the same time, and Michigan will always take precedence over Oklahoma State here in the state of Michigan. Kansas State beat Tulane by 7, 34-27. Tulane could be the group of 5 team that gets the playoff spot, so I don't know, and I just don't know what to expect out of K-State losing Will Howard. So that game, that's going to be hard to tell what K-State's going to be. I think they're ranked a little higher than they should be, but right now, with how bad the top 25 has been, who else do you put up there? LSU beat Nicholls State 44-21. Woo. Not much to say there. Kansas lost to Illinois 19-23. It looks like Kansas may have been a flash in the pan last year. Number 19 Kansas lost 17-23 to Illinois. That's what I meant to say. Wow, I don't know why I struggled so hard getting that out. Kansas very well could have been a flash in the pan last year. I didn't think Illinois was going to be good. I didn't think Illinois had business being in this game, and, well, I might be wrong. Could be one of those. Yeah, it could be a really bad top 25, other than maybe 2 or 3 teams. You're going to have your top 3, 4 teams that are probably going to be really good, and then everyone else could be really bad. Speaking of one of those years, we got number 20 Arizona. Yeah, the preseason top 25 is just fucking, it's so stupid and meaningless. Why we keep doing it, other than the AP needing to find a way to make themselves feel relevant, it's just frustrating. It's stupid. Number 20 Arizona beat Northern Arizona 22-10. Yeah. Arizona was trailing in this game to FCS school Northern Arizona. Arizona might have been a flash in the pan last year. We'll let that sink in for a minute. I thought Arizona, coming out of the Pac-12, going into the Big 12, could have been a solid team, keeping most of what they had last year, and then, well, they go and lay an egg against NAU. Someone who did worse against an FCS school. Yeah, Iowa State beat number 21 Iowa 2019. Iowa wasn't going to score 40 points in a row. They're back to looking like Iowa. Yeah. That 40 points against an FCS school was just fake. Kirk Ferentz is back in control, and Iowa's going to be mediocre offense again. Number 22 Louisville beat Jacksonville State 49-14. Woo. Syracuse beat number 23 Georgia Tech 31-28. Georgia Tech had a pretty good rally at the end in the fourth quarter to make this game close. But the ACC is bad. Wide open conference. Florida State might have a chance, honestly, to win it and get back in. Not really, but they might have a chance. Kyle McCord's doing pretty good for himself against a MAC school and an ACC school, but I'm happy for the kid. Good for him. And rounding out your top 25, and then we have one other game I want to talk about. Clemson, number 25 Clemson beat Appalachian State 66-20. Whoa. Scroll all the way back up here. And the final game we're going to be talking about here for week 2, the recap. Yeah. Nebraska beat Colorado 28. Damn. I am happy for McCord. I'm glad he is somewhere playing good football. Will it be sustained? I don't know. But I'm glad he's having success somewhere else. Nebraska beat Colorado 28-10. Colorado was never in this game. Nebraska did not score in the second half. And Colorado was still never in this game. Shut out through 30 minutes of football in quarters 3 and 4. And still never in doubt of losing. That's how bad Colorado played. And one of these scores here, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I didn't scroll down far enough. One of these scores here was a pick 6. So only 3 offensive touchdowns. And Nebraska was never in doubt of winning this game. That's how bad Colorado was. Shedeur Sanders left with about 2.5, 3 minutes to go in the game. Left the sideline. Not injured. Shiloh is having surgery on his arm, or had surgery on his arm, I believe. So he's done for the season. And he blamed Shedeur in the press conference blamed everybody. Offensive line, he blamed the freshman wide receiver for the pick 6. Just absolute bad debacle showing. Raiola wasn't immaculate. Threw for 185. Wasn't bad. I mean, 23 for 30. 185. He wasn't dangerous. He did what needed to be done. Running game was very good. They ran for 150 yards. Colorado still has no running game. Former Ohio State running back Dallin Hayden, who left because he wasn't going to get playing time, is probably regretting his decision to go to Colorado, because unless your name is Shedeur Sanders, you're not running the ball. Shedeur, well, a lot of that negative 30 for Shedeur here is sack yardage. I don't really entirely like how the how college counts sacks as rush yards. We don't have them separate. Travis Hunter had himself another. Travis Hunter had himself another solid game. 10 catches for 110 yards, but he's the only guy on this team worth a shit. He is the only guy on this team worth a shit. I am really excited to call Colorado State on Saturday. Colorado's just not a good football team. Shedeur is not a power 4 quarterback. He's barely an FBS quarterback at times. And Deion, just doesn't want to be a head coach. This game was not good. Colorado's not good. In the words of Stephen A. Smith, I'm going to steal this. Colorado got bum rushed by Nebraska. Well, yeah, we'll go with that. Let's move on to week 3. I gotta figure out where I just dropped that quarter. Hopefully it's somewhere. Yeah, Shedur's gonna be the number 1 overall pick next year. Yeah. Whoever picks Shedeur Sanders in the first round should probably lose their job. If someone does. Week 3, quick preview before we get into the picks. And again, in a battle of teams that struggled. On Fox on Fox on Friday. Wow. Why was that so rough? Number 20 Arizona takes on number 14 Kansas State and Manhattan. Game could be fun. This could be one of the best games of the week. Like, easily could be one of the best games of the week. Moving to Saturday, Alabama. Rare non-conference road game for Alabama. True road game as they travel up to Camp Randall. Another one that could be good and somehow got relegated to the fucking allergies are killing me today. Got relegated to the SEC network. Number 6 Missouri takes on number 24 Boston College. A lot of these games we'll talk about in the picks too. Oregon hosts Oregon State or travels to Oregon State, Corvallis. Goofy things have happened in this rivalry. It has to be played in week 3 instead at the end of the season because of conference scheduling. It's supposed to rain in Corvallis. I feel like it always rains in Oregon for this game. I tried not being allergic to things. I've tried. I don't even know what it is today. 4:30, Utah takes on Utah State. If Cam Rising plays, this is going to be a blowout. That's the only interesting thing there. Not a lot of great games this week. This is actually just this is just bad football all week. Like, it'll be interesting to see Nebraska take on Northern Iowa. They should win this game. We'll see if they can kind of keep rolling on. And then we have the ACC Big 12 matchup, West Virginia Pitt. At Pitt. Both teams suck. Could be fun. What time is that game being played? I don't know. I don't know what time that game is being played, but let's get into the picks. We'll know here in a moment. Here we go. Alrighty, the picks. We are 45-9 for 2 weeks. Our first game, number 20 Arizona at Kansas State. This could be the best game of the week. You know what? I can't take Arizona. Give me K-State. Florida State takes on Memphis. Florida State has to win this game. They just have to. So give me the Seminoles. At home. Michigan's going to beat Arkansas. Noon on ABC, LSU travels to South Carolina. I have no reason to pick the Gamecocks. Give me LSU. Noon on Peacock, Illinois, 2-0 Illinois plays Central Michigan. Central Michigan just got bludgeoned by FIU. Give me Illinois. Oklahoma State, after struggling with Arkansas, plays Tulsa. I just dropped my pen. Give me Oklahoma State. Alabama travels to Camp Randall. Give me Alabama. What could also be potentially one of the best games of the season or the week. On the SEC Network, number 24, Boston College takes on Missouri. I want to take BC here, but the ACC is so fucking terrible. Give me Missouri. Give me Coastal Carolina over Temple. In a battle of shit teams. Shit SEC teams, that is. Texas A&M travels to the Swamp to take on the Gators. Mike Elko has to get... Mike Elko is a better coach than Billy Napier. No, because I'm too dumb to wear mittens when it's cold. Ball State is balls. They're traveling to Miami. Give me the Hurricanes. Give me West. I'm gonna regret this. Give me West Virginia over Pitt. Pitt's terrible. The ACC is terrible. Give me the Mountaineers on the road. I think Tulane could be the best Group of 5 team, and at the end of the season will be in the college football playoff. I don't think they're going to beat Oklahoma. So, $3:30 on Fox. Good news. This year's kind of wild card. Don't feel like there's any real no, I agree. Number 9 Oregon at 3:30 takes on Oregon State. We just talked about this game a little bit. Give me the Beavers. Give me Oregon State. Oregon has looked so bad in weeks 1 and 2. This is where they finally trip up. Give me Oregon State. I'm going to regret that. Battle of the Apple Cup. I don't know how Washington State's been. I don't really know how Washington's been. You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. Let's look. Fuck it, give me Washington. Michigan State's going to beat Prairie View. I needed to get games in, which is why we have Michigan State taking on Prairie View in the picks. Notre Dame travels to Purdue. This is a prime candidate for Purduing. Notre Dame is. Give me the Boilermakers. Give me Hudson Card and the Boilermakers. Cam Rising, or Utah's going to beat Utah State regardless of Cam Rising's there or not. Let's see. He is questionable. Utah's going to win regardless. Liberty's going to beat UTEP. Again, the ACC is ass. Ole Miss is going to beat Wake Forest. Texas is going to beat UTSA. And a really shitty game on... I didn't even know they played football games on this network. Kennesaw State takes on San Jose State. Travels to San Jose State. 7 p.m. on True TV. Kennesaw State's... This is their first year in the FBS. They're not going to win this game. Give me San Jose State. Georgia's going to beat Kentucky. Air Force Baylor, 7:30 FS1. Oh, fuck it. Give me Air Force. Why not? Not going to be a good game. 7:30. This game is in here because it's the sidecast of the week. I will be calling this game here on this Twitch channel. Or, well, if you're watching this on YouTube later, on my Twitch channel. And, well, on YouTube. Colorado, 1-1 Colorado travels to Fort Collins, Colorado to take on Colorado State. 74% of the people are on Colorado State. I am with the people, or on Colorado, I mean, not Colorado State. I'm with the people. I just like last year, it's going to be a bad game. It's going to be a debacle. It would be funny as all hell if Colorado loses this game. I don't think they're going to. Nebraska's going to beat Northern Illinois or Northern Iowa. Tennessee's going to beat Kent State. Total points scored for Colorado at Colorado State is going to be 64. Why not? 65. That's your picks for college. Let's hopefully not suck. And that is that for week 2 recap, week 3 preview and picks. A week of really bad football.